Hello, everyone. Welcome to Secondhand News You Can Use. I'm your host, Kimberly J. And joining me is our producer as well as fashion photographer with Vogue and Vanity Fair credits, Henry Liddell. Good evening, Henry. Also joining us is Dr. Michaela, who is our creative director as well as our show producer for DTR TV. Good evening, Michaela. Welcome back, everybody. Are you guys ready? Because we got some good stuff for you again this week. Viral buzz is buzzing, and it's the blame game this time, you guys. This time, the blame game is involving who? Oprah Winfrey and Taraji Henson. Again, in the news, only because the studio is blaming Oprah and Taraji for the failure of The Color Purple, albeit I didn't find it to be a failure. But Oprah blames Taraji for the failure. Henry Liddell, I want you to weigh in first and tell me your thoughts on the blame game.
Well, you know what, my thoughts on the blame game that is The Color Purple, I think there's a percentage of a reason why people did not go see them film. And I think some of it probably did have to do with, hearing that the actors and actresses were mistreated on set. And what do I mean by mistreated on set? It is standard practice on a film set, whether you're doing a movie, a commercial, a studio film, whatever the case may be, whether it's a small little production company, you always have food for the staff. I mean, they may not even be getting paid, their quote, but they're at least going to, be fed, because that's just like the bare minimum, right?
Right.
And as far as like, you're talking about A-list, you're talking about even an A-list or a B-list celebrity movie star, you're going to have your own trailer. You're going to have your own trailer, right?
Right.
You're going to have people drive you back and forth from set just because of, it's a risk with insurance and things like that. If Taraji was driving a car and she got into an accident and she hurt herself during the production of the film, and she's one of the major characters in the film, then millions of dollars would be lost. So it's not even about vanity. A lot of it is practical. And I think a lot of times they play these games with the Black talent because they can get away with it. And the question is, why did it even happen in the beginning? Because if it hadn't happened from the jump, Taraji wouldn't have anything to complain about or to, stand up about.
I agree wholeheartedly. Dr. Michaela, as a creative director and show producer, what would you have done differently, or what is your perspective based on how things happened and how things panned out with The Color Purple?
Well, for starters, I think that, Taraji had an issue with how much they were offering her to start. Well, let me just back up. When predominantly white films fail at the box office, I don't think I've ever heard a studio blame the white actors for a failure at the box office, for starters. Two, let's look at Eddie Murphy. Anytime Eddie Murphy produces a movie or he's written a movie, his actors are paid top dollar. Yep. There is no reason why a person with Oprah's influence and with her money should have. There's no reason why Taraji had to have haggled a fee with someone with Oprah's weight involved in this project. It's very disappointing to me. It's disappointing that she had to go to, it was hurtful to see her cry. And it's hurtful I just don't like the fact that Oprah is on her ass about her telling the truth. They were treated like garbage. It makes no sense that their production was so shoddy when there's so much money involved in it. I disrespect her for disrespecting her. I've disrespected her before. I mean, I lost respect for a long time ago, but now it's even intensified. She has no right to even come at Taraji, period, because she should have been looking out for them. She should have been looking out for her own people to start with.
Right. I agree with you, especially in our Black community. I think we should do better by each other. What disappointed me was Oprah, and you can't tell me. When you own something, we are all business owners. From the top down, your people are affected, and it comes from the top. So for her not to accept the responsibility and say, you know what, Taraji was a big person on the talk. She gave Oprah credit. She said, she fixed it immediately. Now, I don't know if she was doing that for PR purposes and to be the bigger person, but to me, it should have never, like you said, Henry Liddell, it should have never even gotten to that point. That all of that should have been rectified, like you said, also, Dr. Michaela. So I feel like as Black women specifically, do better. That's if I have 2 words to say to Oprah, I would say do better. That's great that you do all these wonderful things, but at the end of the day, when it came down to, first of all, y'all brought back a Black show, a Black movie, The Color Purple, and with top names in it. Pay our people. We know who these people are. So I feel like they were slighted. I feel like Taraji had every right to be upset. And I think what she did was she started just like Kat, there's a snowball effect. And now other people have to, and if they don't stand up, even Viola Davis, she said, look, I'm one of the highest paid in this industry as a Black woman. She is compared to the Meryl Streeps and things like that. Well, she said, I don't get paid what they get paid. I don't get the services that they get. It's just like what you said, Henry Liddell. So I think that the industry needs to do better. And personally, I think there needs to be an organization to start looking at things like that. But that's why we have us. We're going to do TV differently. Better.
And speaking of,
yes,
on The Color Purple, I love Danielle Brooks. Let me put my glasses on. Danielle,
yes, tell us about that.
She is phenomenal. Now, this girl was born when I graduated college. That's how old I am. But
she and I were born at the same time.
No, ma'am.
Okay.
She's a Southern girl. She's from Georgia. I love it. But you know what's so fascinating about her? I really didn't know too much about her, and I just. This summer I watched Orange is the New Black for the first time, and I was really fascinated with her talent. But she is one of 4 Black individuals to be nominated for the 4 major American entertainment awards. You know, the Tony, Emmy, Academy Award, Grammy. She received an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actress in The Color Purple. She also received a Tony nomination for Best Performance by an Actress in a Featured Role in a Musical in 2016 for her performance in The Color Purple. She won a Grammy for Best Musical Theater Album. She's done voiceover work too as well. She received an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Television Movie as an executive producer on Robin Robertson's Presents Mahalia. She also hosted Netflix's reality series Instant Dream Homes, and she was nominated for a Daytime Emmy Award for Outstanding Daytime Program Host. I don't think people know that about her. She is a phenomenal human being. She's a bomb, and she's so humble. I love her. I just love her energy. I love everything about her. She's a powerhouse.
I think she's going to be the next big name you watch. She's already a big name, but I mean, she's going to be the one that we're going to continue to see more from. We do see more from her and hear more from her, and I hope they treat her right in the industry. Henry Liddell, did you add anything?
Yeah, I would like to add something in regards to Danielle Brooks. I think she's a fantastic up and coming actress. We're going to see her in more amazing productions. I didn't get to see her perform in the depiction of Mahalia Jackson, but I saw some of the commercials and things like that. And she looked amazing and she sounded amazing. I love Mahalia Jackson. I mean, anybody who likes gospel music loves Mahalia Jackson or knows her, right?
Right.
I think that she's such a humble person. And I'm so happy that from this, movie and The Color Purple and the debacle and all this stuff, this hoopla and brouhaha that's been going on, I'm so excited that she was actually nominated for an Oscar because I do want to see more Black actresses getting their recognition and their due. And also with all of this stuff, really they were kind of left out of the Golden Globes, the Emmys and things like that for The Color Purple, because I think a lot of people, once you've seen Whoopi Goldberg play Celie, or even Oprah did a fantastic job. I mean, Suge Avery Brooks. I mean, she was amazing. All those actors were amazing in that film. And so if you grew up with that film, when I think about the film, I still think about those actors and I compare them to that. Right. And for me, I think hopefully they'll allow some of these talented Black script writers to share some of their stories. Let's do some new stuff is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. I agree wholeheartedly. All right. So we still have more viral buzz going on. This one's a little close to me. because I am you know what I am. I'm a radio personality specifically for a gospel radio show. And this viral buzz involves Kim Burrell. Now, it seems that lately we've had a lot of gospel and gospel artists and pastors in the news. So let me just put this out here as a disclaimer. Of course, it's like the saying with Black people, not all Black people are bad, not all Jewish bad. Not everybody that goes to church, sings, performs, or gets up is bad. But just like anywhere else, there are some bad apples. Well, Kim Burrell is proving herself to be one of those apples. I'll let you decide whether it's good or bad. But she apparently did not show the most Christian-like behavior when during a performance, someone else was singing. And I will let you take this away, Michaela.
Well, we know Kim is a repeat offender. She offends people in the church all the time. And she was singing. I saw the video. I could not hear the person who was singing in the audience, but who are you to tell a person if they're feeling the spirit not to sing? She's a bully. What I would have said was, you know what? You forgot your Spanx, baby. I see your fupa. Snatch it back while you tell somebody not to sing. Because let me tell you something. Kim is like, what, 51? I'm about to be 58. You look like you're 10 years. You got 10 years on me for one. Your spirit, she's so nasty. And I don't understand how the pastor allows her to act like that in the church. I swear I can't stand church people. I go to church for funerals and weddings because church people make me sick. She is a church person that would make me sick. I would have sung super loud. I would have told Kim to fuck herself right in the churk and then just kept on singing. I would have made her stop singing. I would have taken over the solo. Kim Burrell, she needs to be, if anybody needs to be canceled, she needs to be canceled. Bye, Kim.
Burrell, get the right Kim, get the right Kim.
Not that Kim.
Burrell, not Kim.
Thank you, baby. Henry Liddell, what do you have to say?
We like this Kim. Look, we all know Kim Burrell. We know her track record. She is, she's just a sick bully. I'm sick of hearing about her. I think she's despicable. I think it's sad that she has such a platform of all the people who could, represent Christianity and the church and who could be a beacon of light to bring people to the church. I think if I was a part of that church, I would immediately have withdrawn my tithing. They wouldn't get any of my money and I'd stop attending, because if somebody's in church and they're praising God in church and you have been chosen to be the person that God's going to work through so that people can praise, they're there for God. I think people get confused when they get onto that stage and then they get a little bit of fame, as a lot of these performers, especially a Christian performer, because what happens is you get up there and you start to get a little bit of fame and you think that it's about you and it's supposed to be about God. I'm not preaching. I was raised up in the Baptist church, and but I'm outside of the church. I don't attend church anymore, but this is people like that is the reason why. It's like that whole atmosphere of that toxic atmosphere, which should not be allowed in the church. I don't think there's a place for it.
So
amen.
I have to speak to this. I want to speak to this, and I want to speak to this because I am a churchgoer, and we have all kinds of people that do come to church, and they, as we all know, everybody's dirty, everybody makes mistakes, and everybody falls short. I feel like I would hope people wouldn't leave the church because of one person. My hope is that the person who's over Kim Burrell or anybody else in a church handles the problem. It's when the problem doesn't get handled within the church that it manifests, and it's like a cancer, and it spreads and other people feel it. And that's what causes, in my opinion, a lot of the church hurt. It makes people not want to go back to church. It makes people not trust, because everybody isn't like that. But it only takes, it works both ways. It could be one good incident and people are like, you know what? This is a real church. These are real people. Or one bad incident, one person can turn someone away. But if the church doesn't correct the behavior, and we know that the behavior happened because it went viral, and they see that it went viral, I don't know who the publicist is, but we know one that they might want to hire, LaCheryl, right? Get you a publicist to fix that. She needs to repent. Her relationship with God is hers, but she definitely needs to have someone get in there and clean that up, because she's not the only one in this. I had an interesting with someone that came to perform, and this is when I first started. I was shocked at his behavior, but I also know that he's not representative of the whole population. But it does let me know that some people are, like I told y'all before, are just in it for a check. Some people are in it for the right reasons. Some people are in it for the wrong reasons. Some people are in it because they think it gives them all the glory and not God getting the glory. So there are a lot of moving parts to it, but at the end of the day, that is what turns people off from church.
And I want to say one more thing. I don't mean to cut you off, Kim. I'm sorry, but I want to say one more thing, because at the end of the day, what happens is you have these people who have a platform. It's not just, just church people. It's people who have a platform, or just members of the church. Certain people have a platform that has a brighter light that's shined upon it, and they have more weight in what they do and say. And so, I've heard Kim Burrell do several things in this vein, and some even, this is actually nothing really in comparison to what she's done in the past. And my issue is I never hear anybody from the church come forth and denounce the things that she's done. It's always, you hear about her doing them, but then you don't hear anything else. And so I think that can lead people to believe the wrong things.
Well, I think we're going to start seeing, if we haven't already, I think we're about in 2024, we're getting ready to see a lot more of correction going on within the church. And honestly, it needs to happen. It needs to happen. All right. So Viral Buzz, off to a great start. Thank you guys for that. We're going to kick it off with Hot Topics with Dr. Michaela. Dr. Michaela, what do you have? You have a lot of good stuff for us.
Oh, well, you know what? Okay. First orders. I want to talk about Shannon Sharp. I love his podcast, but it seems like since Cat came on and he's gone, he got so many, what did he get? Almost 40 million views on that one show. All of a sudden he's gay. He's getting a lot of they give him flack for having a gay stylist, and he takes him to games and stuff. And I'm like, so what? One of my closest friends, we've been friends since kindergarten, and she's gay, and she's butch. We hang out together, we take pictures together. I kiss and hug on her. I love her. She's my friend. That does not make me gay. I think that's the most ridiculous. And you can't have a gay friend. Even if he is gay, who gives a damn? But what's the big deal? What is the big deal? Why can't he have a gay friend? Why can't he have a gay stylist and hang out with the stylist?
I don't think they care about him being friends. I think that they're saying he has a relationship and he's trying to cover it. That's what I keep seeing. And you're right. They started going in after him as soon as he went viral. All of a sudden you start, because here's what's happening, internet, whoever's internet you want to call it. The internet starts putting pictures of them at the game next to each other,
right?
Or at this event next to each other. And it's always alluding to something else happening. Here's the problem I have, whether there's a relationship between them or not. Just because two people are seen in a picture together, maybe Shannon Sharp is just so manly, he could care less what somebody else's sexuality is. How about that? Because I know plenty of guys who have gay guy friends, and and they could care less because they are strong in their manhood and they don't care about being around somebody who's gay. Why would they feel threatened? And if he is sitting with the guy and it's his assistant, okay. So why aren't we saying he's an equal opportunity employer? Why aren't we saying nice things?
Right.
Why aren't we saying he's just not prejudiced
by him?
Yeah, instead they want him to be swallowed.
Swallowed. Yeah. And on that same vein, I know that we've all heard Dave Chappelle, he had some things to say about Cat tearing down our people.
Right.
Well, where were you when? I'm like, where were you when Steve Harvey was screwing over Bernie Mac, or when all these other comedians were stealing, when Steve Harvey was stealing people's jokes? Did you have anything to say about that?
That's what I say. So I understand his point. He's doing what we were told back in the day: what goes on in his house stays in the house. He doesn't want the dirty laundry aired. That's how I took it. Like, why are you going after him? Why are you talking about? Because it needs to be addressed. Now, maybe you didn't like his approach, but guess what? Everybody has gotten more. It might not be good publicity, but they still got publicity. But guess what else? It educated a lot of us as consumers. I'm sorry. It told a lot of us, like, it's not that I don't think these guys are funny, but it told me a little bit about who they are, truly who they are, because I was believing who they were telling me, i.e. Kevin Hart. I'm thinking this man, he made one mistake. He cheated on his wife one time. He steals jokes. He dogged his first wife. Character means something to me when I follow someone. It doesn't mean I expect you to be the end all to be all, but it tells me a lot about who you are as a character. I think Cat got tired. I think he was sick and tired. And that is why he did what he did the way he did it. And Dave Chappelle is no different. I follow him. And Dave Chappelle gets on that stage. And if he feels, he has called other comedians out just the same. What's the difference? He called out Kevin Hart in one of his stand-ups. What is the difference?
Right.
Nothing. One was effective, though, I can tell you that.
Extremely effective.
It was extremely. So what else do we have brewing for Hot Topics? Henley Riddell, did you want to weigh in on that too and speak to that?
Yeah, I do want to weigh in on, as a person who's gay, you know, I have plenty of friends who are straight. I like hanging around.
Are you gay?
Gayer than a gay is a goose, honey.
Just had to. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Henry Goodell.
Well, I mean, I think we have to remember that we're not talking about him being friends with this person, right? We're talking about this person holding a position with his company and having a job. And so what bothers me with that is when you're talking about somebody who's in the public eye, a celebrity, an athlete, somebody whose press does matter, and it does matter how he's perceived in the public eye, because the whole idea is that you are a likable person, right? If you're a film actor, a movie star, even an athlete who people look up to. I don't like that his image is being tarnished because he has somebody on staff who is gay. If you work in the business of like any creative businesses, you're going to have, gay people. They're going to have stylists, producers, editors, lighting people. There's going to be people who are, part of the LGBT community or the alphabet community, right? And
that's right.
So I just think it's kind of despicable because this is going to make people probably step away from or be worried. Hey, there's a guy, he's gay on our staff. Should I be worried? Is this going to get out? Right. I think that it's ridiculous, right? And if Shannon Sharpe is gay, that's his business. It's his business. It's his business, but I especially hate that they're doing it from a standpoint of like, oh, you have a gay person working for you, you're gay. That's just such a bad attitude. It's just such an ignorant way to handle it, right?
It is. It really is.
Why it's ignorant? Majority of the industries have gay people in their industries. Do they not? And let's start with the church. Way back in the day, we just didn't say it. The tambourine players, the lead choir directors, I'm not saying everybody, but people. So why is it a thing now? Why is it a thing? But because he went viral, y'all. That's the bottom line.
I know, exactly.
No one had anything to say. At least I didn't see anything. Now, all of a sudden, I'm starting to see all of this about who cares about his sexuality? Are we going to talk about how many wives certain people have or how many women they have in addition to a wife that they have? Are we going after those people? Because there's somebody who wrote a book who is supposed to be an expert on things, and I wouldn't follow his advice.
A couple of books.
Right?
Kim, I'm gonna tell you who cares. I'm gonna tell you who cares. Homophobic men who like to screw women in the butt care because they're the homophobes of the game. Those ones
we can all go home now. We can all go home now. Michaela just went on and put it out there. That's right, Michaela.
All you homophobic men who like to screw women in the butt and are calling out gay people are gay. Period. Because if you screw a woman in the butt, you screw a man in the butt. Okay, I'm done. I'm done.
Thank you, Michaela. Henry Liddell, we're going to move on to the next hot topic. Y'all ready? Okay. Michaela said, pew, pew. Okay, so what else do we have? with your hot topics, Michaela.
All right, E. Jean Carroll. Her defamation suit against Donald Trump awarded her 83.3 million. She got 65 million in punitive damages and 18.3 million in compensatory damages over allegations of sexual abuse. Now, whether he actually has the money, because I think he might be 1,000 heir or 100,000 heir. I don't even think he may be a millionaire. I don't know. But she vowed to give the money to something that Trump hates. She said she's going to fund women who have been sexually abused by him. I love it. But she was on
her.
Yeah, she said she was on Rachel Maddow the other day, and she said initially she was terrified of him, but then she came to realize that he was an emperor without clothes. And
wow.
She also said that it was an astonishing discovery for her because he's nothing. She said that he can be knocked down, which he can, and he is being knocked down. And she said, it just shows, all this shows that nobody has to be afraid of him anymore. And they don't have to be afraid. He's nothing. He really is nothing. He's all mouth. And she compared him to a walrus snorting and a rhino flopping its hands.
She should just grab him by the toupee.
He should have grabbed her. Well, she could, certainly about other genitals, because he probably doesn't have any, and he claims to be well endowed. Don't get me started. But I'm so glad. I just hope this is the start of him going down. I really want to see him in jail. And it really astounds me that there are people out here who really believe that he is president and that this whole Biden thing is a farce. There are people who really believe that he's president in secret, that he's calling all the shots from some undisclosed location. It's just insane.
Right. Did you want to weigh in, Henry Liddell? I don't know how to follow what Michaela had to say. And I'm never speechless.
I'm never speechless. I think that people really have to, we live in an age where you have all this AI technology and you have this ability to create things, scenarios that never happened, speeches that never were said or given. And if you think people are, out of their minds now, you just wait a couple of years from now, because people are so confused about what's right and what's wrong, what's true and what's false. And of course, they have good reason to be, because of all, anybody can make a website or a video or a deep fake. I mean, there's so much propaganda that is coming that we do need to be worried, because a lot of people are very, I think they're easily influenced, and you really need to find out how to absorb information and discern between, truth or fiction.
Well, that's kind of hard to do with him, because I don't know. So here's what I believe about Trump. This is all I'm gonna say about him. For one, I think he's dirty. I do think he's racist. People, and I notice right now a lot of Blacks are going towards Donald Trump. They're voting for him. They're saying we're standing with him. We didn't believe him, but now we believe in him. A lot of Blacks are going that direction. I think the problem is that we don't trust our government. I know I don't. So there's no one up there. You allowed a man to hold office for 4 years that said anything he wanted to, did anything he wanted to. We had the most racially motivated climate during that time. And he was saying very sexually inappropriate things, and he was getting away with it. That bothers me. It makes me feel like our democracy doesn't work. And he seemed to think he was above it. So this case, for me, lets women know, and it lets other people know that there is no one that is above it. That on some level, even though I don't trust our government 100%, on some level, our judicial system is working. Because I wasn't sure how things were going to fare for that young lady, because you got to remember, he was after her. He had allegedly hired people to go, according to her, when she was speaking, all kinds of egregious acts that happened to her and to her family when she was pursuing this lawsuit. So I believe she deserves every penny, if not more than that. And if he has it or not, he has assets. You can trust and believe that man's got something somewhere. He'll come up with it. That's my opinion. What else you got, Dr. Michaela?
I think that's all. I think I got it out. I got it out.
All right. Yeah, you did. You did. You went to town. It has been a great show. We're going to have more great show topics for you guys. Thank you for joining us. And of course, as we close out, we want to, our Henry Liddell, our show producer, is going to put up where you can follow us. Please make sure you follow us on Instagram, on YouTube as well. Henry Liddell is going to provide a link for that as well. Is that correct, producer?
That is correct.
Thank you, sir. So you will be able to follow us individually and you'll be able to communicate. We are going to do a lot of great things that are going to be coming your way. I do want to close with something that I thought was a fun fact. I just want to share. Maybe you knew, maybe you didn't, but here we go. Did you know who Red Fox's grandson is? Do you know who he is?
No.
Lorenz Tate.
What?
That is Red Fox's grandson. I just learned that. I thought that was a cute fun fact. Just wanted to share it with our audience. We have enjoyed having you guys on board. We will be back again to visit with you. Remember, you can check us out on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram. As I said, Henry Liddell, our producer, is going to put that up. And until next time, be blessed and highly favored. We'll be back and see you next time right here on Secondhand News You Can Use. Bye.